Okay, so for this assignment, I will be reviewing the work of Connor Knight. Overall, I thought that the student did a pretty good job on this assignment. It looks as if they're telling the narrative of college students drinking, with the pre-drinking, during the drinking, and the post-drinking scenes. Um, I thought the artist did a good job of telling the typical narrative of college students. Um, they let the viewer know what the narrative of these photos is exactly, and they executed the photos in a very good manner, pertaining to the situation that they were trying to show. There are a bunch of pictures of just students drinking, and then the post pictures of them trying to get water and just this feeling bad and sleepy, and having to chug water because they're hungover. Um, for the elements of principles of design and photography, I thought they did a good job of showing the surreal sense of the subject that they were talking about. All of these pictures are very surreal, with the students trying to chug 2 beers at once, um, and then to that student then throwing up in the toilet. It gives the viewer a very surreal sense of the narrative that they were trying to portray. And concerning what the images are about and the story that the artist was trying to tell, it seems that obviously they're telling the story of drinking, but I think more so they're trying to show how it can get out of control. It starts with the individual with a monkey hat on, looks like starting his drinking, and then binge drinking, going to shotgunning the beer and beer bonging the beer as well. Um, and then it finishes with them being extremely hungover. Not only just the one student, but both of them are having to chug water the next morning, and get food in them. And it kind of just shows the whole narrative of how bad things can get when drinking gets out of hand. Um, for the images that I think are the best, are the ones of the student being hungover. Looks like thinking about his night last night, and then with his hands on his head as if he's, very very distraught about maybe what could have happened. And then I like the pictures at the beginning with the student with the monkey hat on. The reason I like these is because it kind of shows what I was talking about earlier about how drinking can get very much so out of control, um, very fast. I mean, look, it starts with the one student simply standing there, and then one picture later, there's a student with a monkey hat on his head. It just really shows just how fast things can get out of control. The images that are the worst are some of the more bland photos, such as I think this one. It kind of There's not much going on in it. It kind of just looks like the student standing there. I mean, yes, the bottle is in the picture, but I think more could have been done with this, as well as pictures like this one. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything going on, and I feel like this picture could have been definitely could have been, and this one as well. It looks like he's just kind of grabbing something out of the cooler. I think they could have peered even closer into the cooler to see what exactly the student was getting into. Overall, I think the student did a pretty good job. They chose a narrative that is pretty relatable for most college students, and I think they did a good job capitalizing on the intricacies of what can happen when things get out of hand, and kind of show just the vices that come along with drinking, such as the hangover and the student puking, and just having these faces of stress and weariness. With that being said, I think the student did a very good job, and I look forward to looking at more of their photos. And that is all.